Morning, everybody. Welcome to Belgium's top-rated podcast, Left of Center. That's right. You are at Belgium's top-rated podcast. Obviously, not a lot going on in Belgium right now.
Wow.
I know.
We're still going with
Undersell.
Undersell Belgium.
And over-deliver.
Welcome to Lockpot on Friday, though.
I have it tattooed on my side.
A Belgian
Undersell.
flag. Undersell and over-deliver.
What does the Belgian flag look like, Dad?
It's red and blue.
No, black, red, and yellow.
It's black? Who puts black in that
black,
flag?
red, and yellow.
Germany.
What is this, ISIS?
Black, red, and yellow, dude. Come on. It's just different. It's like vertical, not horizontal or something like that.
Would you study the flags?
When I was a kid, like 5th grade, I was way into flags. Very into flags.
That completely surprises me.
What a dweeb.
When I was in 5th grade, I was trying to get girlfriends.
I was not.
I'm studying the flags. What are you doing?
Flag.
Dude, I'm a nerd. You know
Why am I not surprised by that?
You're not shocked.
That's why I'm the locomotive, you know.
That's why I'm just trying to keep this thing going at the caboose end.
Imagine if the caboose was running this. It'd be a show about flags.
John, can you throw up a couple of interesting flags like Nepal, which is not a rectangle?
Whoa.
There you go.
Did not know that.
One of the
5th
few,
grade in California.
Only one that's not, or maybe one of the few that's not.
I was 5th grade California public school, so I was probably getting drunk by then.
Not me. I was 5th grade Hammond Public Schools in Mr. Layloff's class at Kenwood Elementary.
Studying flags.
Yeah, getting into the flags.
That's
I
awesome.
read Harry Potter in the 5th grade.
Look at you,
That's
overachiever.
Damn.
Yeah, I know.
Hey, I got
Smarty pants.
So this is a question for our chat and our fans. I was out with a certain, let's just say, locomotive for dinner.
Oh, we're going there already?
We're going there.
Like right off the bat.
I just want to
You're trying to embarrass me?
Not embarrass you. Just
Did you
get
guys
some
hold
comments.
hands, too?
No, we were not holding hands.
It was a nice dinner.
It was a real nice dinner, actually.
We were discussing work.
And there was a
true
lot.
story.
Yeah, discussing work, discussing just,
There was
everything.
multiple people present.
Yeah, absolutely. And I happened to be seated next to the locomotive. And there was a lot of plates on the table because our host was very generous with kind of what was going on and really kept bringing stuff. And
by the way, Benito Gamba.
absolutely, Benny.
He
Wonderful.
when I go there, I felt like I'm his Italian.
I feel
kid.
like you're the locomotive.
I'm his Italian son, his other Italian son. He brings me in wine and he brought me a bottle of wine.
Tomasino.
Love Benito.
Benito's the best.
Love Benito.
Gambas, even though they're not a sponsor of our show, is
they should
one of
be.
the top restaurants that I've ever eaten at, much less.
It's a fancy restaurant.
We're there, and so it's late in the day, late in the evening. So I'm sure we've had a couple glasses of wine.
Sounds romantic.
And
he was holding my hand.
there's a lot. So there's a lot of plates on the
great.
table.
It was great.
This wonderful female server.
Oh, you're going there.
Is
Dude,
gathering
these plates
up,
are super heavy.
gathering up the plates, right?
Multiple plates.
And Tom says, and very politely,
She
too,
had
and I think,
3 or 4 plates on
very
one arm.
politely, and I think with good intention says, you have very strong forearms.
To Tom?
No, I said
Tom
it to
said
her.
it to the server.
Oh, my God.
And she was so surprised.
She was 18 or 19.
Thank you.
She did.
Wow.
She had 4 plates.
That
They had
is
all
doing a
kinds
good job.
Awkward.
It is awkward, but
It
I
was funny.
I was
No,
probably
we started laughing.
I was probably 0.15 for the record.
I think
you meant it complimentary. You
It
meant
was
it
totally
as a compliment.
complimentary.
Yeah, you meant a compliment.
That's really awkward. I think Dad's the new dweeb now.
No,
It's not
thank
Kevin.
you.
Kevin's
No,
the
I'm
Thank
just
you, Lindsay.
nice.
Kevin's
I'm
the
always
cool one.
No, I talk to people I talk to even they come
got
and
really
pick up.
strong forearms.
He meant it
Better
in a
than
nice
being
way.
it's better than what Governor Cuomo did.
I didn't
right?
say anything.
Like
I was
saying
just
you have a strong
take these
jaw.
plates away, madam.
Well, I thought it was a compliment.
It was. You meant it that way. I just
There was
thought
a
it
lively
funny.
discussion afterwards about whether or not that was a compliment. And I thought it was. And by the way, she had freakishly strong forearms.
Oh,
Not everybody.
Freakishly.
Now here we go.
Wow.
We're going.
She had 4 plates on one arm.
We
That's
gave
not
him.
freakishly. You can't carry 4 plates in one
No,
hand.
I could barely carry 1 plate.
Lindsay, we gave him an out and he didn't take it.
They were freakishly strong.
You can't
I hope
carry
she's not
4
listening, by the way,
She's
but
not.
she's super strong.
She was great.
I know.
So, chat, do you think it's a compliment?
It's not that
Female
hard.
chat.
Female.
To say you have freakishly strong forearms, is that a compliment?
All right, helicopter.
There we go. I
Helicopter.
forgot. We're using that. I like that.
I like it.
All right. Lindsay, can you do your spiel, please?
guess
We're going to keep
so.
moving.
Nice and smooth, right?
I like that. We're
Helicopter.
over to Lindsay.
All right, you're listening to Left of Center, where we cover everything from important events of the day in the Midwest and the nation, all while having way too much fun while doing it. If you can't get enough of us, follow us on Facebook at Left of Center Podcast or on Twitter at LockPod, LOCPOD. If you cannot listen in live, you can download our apps from the Apple Podcast, Spotify, Stitcher, or iHeartRadio apps. Just search Left of Center and look for our red and blue logo. Don't forget to subscribe and rate on all of those apps, every single one of them, please. Also, if you own a business, or if you're running for office, or you just happen to have money and you want us to talk about you, send us an email at steve@lockpod.com and we can get your ad sponsorship going right away. We have 2 new ads today.
I know.
Very good. Let's hear it. Let's hear a couple.
We're rolling right into it.
Sure. Ron J. Prestomer Insurance Agency has been located for decades right on Indianapolis Boulevard in Hammond, serving all your insurance needs. They specialize in a wide variety of insurance products and services, including auto, home, business, life, and much more. The Prestomer Agency serves over 1,000 people and businesses all around Chicago and in the Midwest. Call Ron or Ronnie at 219-844-0103.
Latitude Commercial is a full-service commercial real estate brokerage and property management firm specializing in northern Indiana and the Chicago suburbs. Local tenants to national developers have benefited from Latitude's experience in the commercial real estate market. When you select Latitude Commercial, you get Chicagoland expertise with worldwide marketing and networking ability. Whether you are a developer looking to sell, a tenant looking to expand, an investor looking to purchase, or an owner in need of property management services, Latitude can help. Contact Latitude at 219-864-0200 or at latitudeco.com so they can get to work for you.
Here, I love it when our sponsors come back. Here's one that was a while ago, and they're back. The Region Escape Room. Region Escape Room in Whiting is Chicagoland's premier escape room experience. Assemble your team and choose from 4 unique games. Groups will work together to find clues, crack codes, and complete their mission in less than 60 minutes. The Region Escape Room offers top-notch game experience that is fun for the whole family, led by enthusiastic game masters. Rooms are private to your group only and sanitized after each game. It's so easy to book. Just go online and choose your date and time at regionescaperoom.com. That's regionescaperoom.com. If you're already a fan of Region Escape Room, vote for them in the Times Best Escape Room by texting 824-219-245-7030. That's 824-219-245-7030. They've got my vote.
Yeah,
we went.
Sure.
It was great.
Yeah.
We loved it. The whole family went. It was a good time.
I know. I haven't even voted for anybody yet. I haven't voted for you guys.
419
for
Latitude. You. 318
I haven't voted for myself.
419. You're 419.
My competition
did it this morning.
My competition got a little thinner.
Yeah, really.
Mayor of Michigan City.
We're gonna
ain't gonna be the region's best. Boy. I have a feeling.
Oh, we're gonna get there.
Mayor Perry. I think he's out of the competition.
I think you're ahead of him.
I got him. I got Mayor Perry covered.
We're gonna get
solidly covered. I'm
voted
pretty
for
sure.
Mayor Bill.
Don't even go there.
says my campaign advisor. Right?
We by the way, just as a preview, we've got Christina Hale, former state rep, former lieutenant governor candidate, former congressional candidate. She's coming on right after 8:00, so stick around for Christina. And she's a Michigan City native.
Oh,
so we're going to talk.
Why don't we hold
about,
off on Mayor Perry until she gets on?
Let's wait for that. Yes, I want to hear right from the MC.
I'm gonna let him have
Michigan City.
Uh-oh. I am seriously.
Oh wait, it was blinking, John.
What
there it is. Boom.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
All right. Is it time for apologies?
Apologies. We should have like an apology, like ding.
Wah, wah, wah. What's it going to be?
Apologies.
John?
Apologies. Thank you, John.
You're welcome.
This is unprecedented. Kevin is going to start off the apology segment.
Yes, what? I am. Yes. Yeah. I actually have an apology to Mayor Bill. I felt slighted when he told me that I wasn't his type. And so I think I felt a little aggressive after that. So I apologize, Mayor Bill. I still feel bad that I'm not your type, but I accept your decision.
Well, I got good news.
Yes.
Mayor Bill texted me last night.
He did?
Yep.
I'm his type?
Yes. He did. He told me you are his type. This is a true story. And he said, of course, Kevin's a lawyer. He's definitely my type, but he's a married man, or he's taken.
I appreciate that.
So, like,
as is Mayor Bill.
Right. And by the way, Mayor Bill, Kevin's also married. But I tell you what, like, if you guys ever free up, I see a torrid affair in your future.
Yeah, I mean,
between the two.
Well, I mean, if he wins best mayor in the region, that's gonna.
Well, maybe Kevin's gonna switch campaigns.
Yeah. Well, we got one less mayor to worry about.
That's right.
Yeah. So took himself out.
Well, let's go to our regular apology segment, which is usually you.
I do have a couple of apologies, actually.
I'm looking for
last show was exciting.
It was
because I have a couple. First off, to all women,
including those with freakishly strong forearms.
Every woman that listens to this show, I apologize to you. Sorry, I didn't realize last Tuesday was International Women's Day. I came in
It was
ignorant.
Monday.
It was Monday, but that's okay.
That was Monday. But like last show when we talked about it, I didn't realize.
Yes.
So I apologize. It should be advertised better in my
You
defense.
made it a bit, but you didn't remember.
It's honestly, it should be advertised better. It wasn't advertised very well. I read all newspapers. I'm a very plugged in person.
I had breakfast with somebody that's got a bunch of daughters, and he said the same thing. He goes, "My daughter's called me," and we're like, "Dad," and he was like, "What? I didn't even know." This is the first year they really pushed it a little bit. Well, that's what he said.
See, that's what I'm saying.
This is the first year anybody gave a crap about women.
They should.
Come on,
you know
that's
what the
not true.
international women should do? They should hire me to help market their campaign.
I bet you're on their
Women
short
should
list.
hire a man.
I bet
They
you're on
should
their
hire
women
me to help them out. I can
should hire
mansplain to
to-
them.
They're on your, I bet you're on the short list for that.
I'm sure I am.
Well, there you go. Women of women of the world and galaxy.
Women of the world, of Earth, of our fans, particularly in America and Belgium. Right.
Don't,
I'm sorry.
There. Thank you.
I didn't realize it was International Women's Day Monday.
We will take your apology
Thank
into
you.
consideration.
Oh, I thought I was
Under
going to say
advisement?
it's under advisement.
It's under current advisement.
Okay.
Got a few layers of
Lindsay's got to
blue
check.
tape, or red tape that we need to go through before we can issue a response.
What's the color of International Women's Day? You could say that color tape.
Kevin studied that crap in fifth
No,
grade
I
also.
We
It's
don't
hard to-
have a flag.
Oh, all right.
So-
No flag.
So to recap this, Tom thought he's apologizing for not knowing International Women's Day was on Monday, but just now he thought it was on Tuesday.
Correct.
So he hasn't learned from his mistakes.
And I
He's
recommend
learning.
And I
Lindsay.
recommend they hire me to help market their
Yeah.
campaign so that people understand better when International Women's Day is.
Well, you're a good marketer.
The
so-
marketing has not been effective in my opinion.
Well,
and I think I could help.
it's been backed up
internationally.
by the gentleman I had breakfast with because he has
Thank
daughters
you.
and he said the same thing.
So this gentleman is a very wise gentleman.
Okay.
Maybe we should both go work
There
for
you go.
International
Sounds
is he
Women's
like it.
wise
Us
or
two men.
ignorant?
we don't know the answer.
Us
to that,
two
Lindsay.
men, we can mansplain like marketing.
Man.
Excellent.
Any more apologies?
Yes, of course. I'm sure there will be more next week also. To the Indiana Democratic Party for insinuating during the last show that there isn't any room for me in the party anymore. I had some pushback.
I
From
even
the
pushed
party.
back
Well,
for you.
not
Good. They
surprised.
should push back. They're happy to have you.
No, they're
They are.
not. No, they're not.
They like you.
No, they're not.
I talked to
Don't
a lot
be
of
silly.
Indiana Democrats, and
All
they
right.
were like,
That's
"I
a
did."
that is a bunch of horse manure.
They were happy.
Bam.
I even pushed back on that.
That's
This is
BS.
the best apology ever.
No, I mean, because I insinuated that there was no room for me in issues that are important to me, like middle of the road issues, and I got some pushback.
Yeah, that's good.
I don't really necessarily feel I was wrong, but I offended some people.
Those are great apologies.
Hell of
It's
an
the worst
apology.
apology ever. I don't really feel like I was wrong. I really feel like, but I
I'm
know
sorry
it
your
was
feelings
offensive.
got
Because you know
hurt.
what? I mean, honestly, you're not supposed to talk about things like that. You're supposed to just eat it and
No,
swallow it
they're
and
good
just like let
discussion.
it burn you up inside until one day you have a heart attack and die.
Well, you've said that, and it's actually been true that when you bottle stuff up, it's
like
unhealthy.
acid.
Yeah, it's unhealthy.
It is. I've noticed this. This is my unofficial survey.
Isn't that that's
Not
a-
even almost unofficial anymore. After 17 years,
I
I
know.
would almost characterize it as official.
It's like if you have acid in this cup and you just let it sit in this cup, after a while you'll come back and the acid will eat through all the layers and it'll be bad for the cup, right?
Well,
Hatred-
didn't
hatred
Gandhi,
is acid.
Gandhi said that being angry at somebody is like drinking poison and hoping that it would kill somebody else.
Bam.
Agreed.
It's
Thank
true.
you, Gandhi.
It's
Thank
very
you,
true.
Mahatma.
Good job, Lindsay, busting out Gandhi.
I
That's
read
awesome.
books. That's all I did.
That's awesome.
Nerd.
Busting out Gandhi in
And
the
I'm
middle.
the nerd.
That's the first time in Lockpod history that Gandhi was bust out.
Probably the last.
I wonder.
I'll try to
I hope so,
incorporate Gandhi
actually.
more often.
Okay, so Mayor Bill, you got an apology from Kevin. All women, particularly American women, got an apology from me, and a separate apology from me to the Hoosier Democratic Party.
Thank you for the apology.
Apology.
Hey, John.
Yeah.
I want to go to this because this is something that I know is important to you. And as we kind of get regrouped and we're trying to get out of COVID and everyone's getting vaccinated, I know you've got a really personal situation with your neighbor that you wanted to pump up a little bit.
Oh, man. Lockpod family. We have a Lockpod family member that needs our help. He's a regular listener of the show, and he's also happens to be my neighbor. He's what is being termed now a COVID long hauler. He got COVID last year, and it really hit him hard. He's been on oxygen ever since.
How old is he, John?
He's not. He's young, man. I think
He's
he's
like a
mid
football
40s.
coach, John. Football coach, no health issues before.
That's the thing.
Wow.
He was a Hammond football coach. He was a Highland football coach. What I know of Dave as my neighbor,
I know Dave Oswald.
You know Dave, yeah. What I know of Dave is he's always out gardening. He's the type of guy who will shovel your walk if he gets out there before you.
Which is probably all the time in your neighborhood, right?
He's a great guy.
It's been hard on John.
John likes to
John
wake
out there
up
at 6
late.
a.m. shoveling. I don't see it, John.
Since Dave hasn't
you
felt
what.
well, it's been really hard on John, man. He's had to like do a lot more.
What the hell,
shoveling.
Dave?
No, he's a great guy.
Yep.
So I just put up his GoFundMe on the screen. I think Lindsay's. Yep, she put up a link there in the chat. If you guys can support a Lockpod family member here, I know he listens to the show all the time. He likes Tom, and he needs our help right now.
I'm donating after the show.
Thank
Without
you,
a doubt.
Tom.
Without
Thank
a
you,
doubt.
guys. He's out of work now, obviously, with having to be on oxygen. I think there's
How long
some
is he going to be on
insurance
oxygen?
issues.
Jeez, Pete,
I don't
man,
know.
what a
We
nightmare.
don't.
Yeah.
COVID long haul.
Nobody knows how long these long haul cases can go.
Jeez.
Right, and this goes.
Chronic illness, it could be with him for the rest of his life.
And I think this is a good reminder to everybody. You know, you hear people say like, "Oh, 99% of the people survive." Blah blah blah.
Right.
You can survive COVID.
It's just like a cold.
Right, exactly. But the truth is there's a lot of people out there, and we're seeing it more and more as time goes on, that have lingering effects of COVID. And
Some
Dave's
of them
one
are
of them.
having myocarditis, which is an infection of your heart muscle tissue.
Look at her
which
throwing
can,
those medical terms
Jeez.
around.
That
Jeez.
could knock you on your butt real hard.
We
So-
have in our family people near and dear to my heart are refusing to get the shot, like near and dear to my heart. And it's not
I
my
think it's a
dad.
bad
My
idea.
dad.
Your
really-
dad got it. He's done. He's
My
good.
dad got it.
Yep.
But like
I got
somebody,
my second shot 2 days ago.
Somebody, congrats, hon.
Thanks.
Did you get sick?
I got a little under the weather.
Woozy.
But it's rewriting your entire immune system. So, like, that's kind of to be expected.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't have any classes yesterday. I was just studying, so I just
You
stayed
just
at
like
home
lay
and-
down and.
Yeah, I was on the couch reading. And
Yeah, I wasn't like I didn't have chills or anything. I didn't, but I definitely didn't feel great.
I went to bed early, and then I
Yeah.
woke up and I felt fine.
I go to bed early every day.
I mean,
Well,
I'm
I
getting
don't.
earlier.
I think Forite said the reason that happens is it activates your immune system so
Right.
hard that it's
And it's the second dose, so you already had one kick, and then
Yes.
you get the second kick.
and your immune
And I'll be
immune system
honest,
sees
I
it
was a little
again.
bit sick when I got the second shot already. I just didn't want to like take any chances, so I just got it.
I think that's good. You're fully vaccinated.
That's right.
You have a.
It's
what are
also
you gonna-
important for people to know that you're not fully vaccinated until 6 weeks after your
Oh.
first dose.
First, okay, so
Whoa.
you got a
So
couple
so
weeks.
heads up.
But
like,
I've been going
you
raw
gotta-
like everywhere.
You've been
Jeez.
out licking things.
like
I
what?
was looking
Back to
for
my
Sneeze on me.
normal.
Sneeze on me.
Back
Come
to my
on.
normal.
So
You know, I had a meeting the other day in City Hall, and some young ladies came in, great ladies, and I was helping them out, and they gave me cookies. We have this deal where it's
Very
Tri Kappa,
nice.
and
Oh,
Tri Kappa's
nice.
like they give me a bunch of cookies, and I sign their proclamation.
They're a service sorority.
Right, so I get bribed with cookies, straight up.
Easy.
They're good though. So I like,
You're like, sure. What do you want me to sign?
yeah.
Tri
So
Kappa knows how to bake.
So Chi Kappa does their duty. They bring
Mhm.
in the cookies.
Mhm.
I said, okay. I inspect the cookies, and then I sign their.
Oh, you inspect them first
I tasted
before signing.
because you didn't want them. If they weren't fresh, I wasn't going to go for it.
No proclamation this year,
So,
ladies.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Tri Kappa. Sorry to the charitable
Take your
organization.
Good luck in
Bunko
2022.
elsewhere.
Where's your damn cookies, Tri Kappa? So they did their spot. I did my spot, and then we were sitting there, and we all had our masks on, and we were like, "Oh, it's a great idea." And then one of them goes, "Mayor, do you care if we take off our masks?" And we were social
Sure,
distance, and I'm
sure.
like, "I don't care. I'm double vaccinated." And they're like, "We're double vaccinated also." So we all
Group
dropped
hug.
the masks,
Aw.
and we're like looking at each other, and I was like, "You know what? We need like a marking system. Like we talked
here
for
we
like
go.
15 minutes.
Here we go.
There should be
If
a
you've
marking
been
system."
vaccinated, you need a license.
There's like a marking, not a license, because then you have to pull it out. There should be like a way that I look
A
at you,
tattoo.
Lindsay.
Like a brand.
Put
Like
it
a
on your
tattoo.
forehead.
Branded?
Like you could put like the COVID tattoo on your forehead with like the slash
your
through it.
lot number on your
Oh,
forehead.
John, like maybe a picture of like the way the virus looks with a slash through it
Yes,
somewhere on
the
your
slash.
face.
It's a big tattoo, but like it's sort of trendy.
You know, it's trendy now.
It would be trendy.
I don't know, in 20 years.
We'd
it's
like
gonna
make
mean
it cool.
much.
Or how about this? How about you shave your eyelash, just one eyelash?
No, I
Like, no
refuse
eyelash.
to do
Some
that.
people are.
There should be a way I could just look at you. Like Lindsay, if you came up to me and I saw one eyelash, I'd be like, dude,
One eyelash.
Maybe like a
yeah, you
fingernail.
just shave one off.
One eyebrow.
One eyebrow.
Brow.
My bad. My bad.
Eyelash would be hard to
My
tell.
bad. My bad. Eyebrow.
Don't you see I've shaved this little eyelash off?
No, shave an eyebrow, like the whole brow. Boom, gone. And then you're like, oh, Lindsay,
Maybe a stamp.
you're
tramp.
double vaccinated, just like myself. But like stamp tramps, you can't tell because it's hidden. Eyebrow is front and center.
Maybe like a fingernail. You paint it pink.
We're
Okay.
getting helicopter in chat.
What's that?
Helicopter?
Helicopter.
All right. Hey,
right.
you know what? We
I don't think chat could call a helicopter.
we need to do
They'll be
something-
calling helicopter all the
before
time.
Christina Hale shows up, we need
I
to
thought
do
it was
something
Oreo
big.
Blizzard.
No, it's
Christina
helicopter.
Hale's coming in 5 minutes. You've got a big announcement,
Yeah.
and
I
don't
do
want,
have a big announcement.
Oh gosh,
right? We don't want
I
to
forgot.
get ahead of ourselves,
Something
and she's calling
important's
in
gonna
4
happen.
minutes.
So you guys didn't like my idea about the eyebrow, I take it.
Well,
I
we're
love
just
it.
gonna-
Well,
I think you
I'm
should
gonna
shave
start-
your eyebrow if you haven't.
John, you've
been
got nice
vaccinated.
eyebrows.
I'm going to start the trend.
So
I'm just going to
you
shave
want to
my
get rid of
eyebrow.
one?
no, I don't want to get rid of one.
All right.
I'll shave my eyebrow and make it easier on you, okay, John?
How about just like people do like a slash through the eyebrow? It's like it's a fashion thing right
Yeah,
now.
it's
Have you
cool.
seen this?
Can you tell if there's
Can
a slash in your eyebrow?
Can someone
Yeah,
type
it's
like a
helicopter?
line.
Yeah, it's like a line through it.
So you do it in
Helicopter.
both of them
Helicopter,
then, right?
helicopter, help me, helicopter.
All right.
Everyone's waiting for your announcement.
Not really.
We got.
No.
You want to do it after?
They
Christina
are.
We don't
Hale?
have. What's that?
You want to do it?
No,
after
no, no, we'll
Christina
do it
Hale?
now.
All right.
We'll do it now. And
Drum
then
roll, please.
but I do want when Christina gets on, I want to hit her with the Michigan City mayor stuff.
For sure, right away.
I'm just going to let you know, Christina, when you're calling in. I want to because she's
Prepare
In case she's
yourself.
listening.
it's fate that she's coming on
I
the
agree.
show,
I agree.
and then the mayor of Michigan City blows his foot off in a self-inflicted accident.
What?
Right? No,
That- oh,
no,
God.
literally,
That's a metaphor. Lynn.
metaphorically blew his
Verbal
foot off.
blow.
So yeah, that would be bad if he also blew his foot
I haven't
off.
heard anything about this
John-
mayor business.
Really?
So that
Good.
shocked me
Oh,
when
no,
you
no.
said he blew his foot off.
Lindsay?
I was like, oh my god.
Hey John, you don't have the voicemail, do you?
No.
Could you try to pull that up real quick? Is it too
Yes.
late?
John's
Let me
ready
try.
for something
Well,
else.
let's get it ready for Christina when she comes on because this is you have to hear this voicemail and then it'll open up our discussion.
You
It's
see me staring at you?
what?
I want you to do your announcement.
What?
Everyone's
Be good.
talking
Everyone's
about
talking
it.
about it.
Okay, it's really like if you're tuning in to hear. First off, we're talking about the Festival of the Lakes 2021, July 14th through 18th at Hammond Pavilion. Okay, obviously with COVID and obviously last year 2020 we had a great lineup set, we had great
Awesome.
bands and we had to cancel the whole fest.
It's a bummer.
Right, and then like, you know, I'm just here to tell you that there's no way in hell I'm canceling 2021.
I love it.
That we're having it 100%. If there's 15 people out there, you know, we're having our lineup, and
I
that's
think
the
there'll be more than
announcement.
15.
I think there's gonna be more than 15, but
President-
I don't care if there's only 15 people out there. Festival of the Lakes 2021 is happening. I'll be one of the 15, but like 100% happening. We have already lined up most of our acts. We have like verbal
That
contracts.
Good logo.
The logo is up on the screen right now, but we have our entire lineup secured Wednesday through Sunday. We actually made an offer on a band to extend it forward, so we offered a country act a Tuesday offer,
We're waiting to hear back.
and if we get the acceptance from them, I'm actually open-minded to doing a day before that.
So it could be July 13th through the 18th.
It would be literally like a 7-day fest if I had my druthers, because not permanently for this year,
Yeah.
because we missed last year.
We did. And people
I
miss
wanna-
it.
I want to
People
come
get
back.
out.
I want to come back hard.
You know, I have a feeling. I mean, we heard President Biden yesterday say that every American is going to be able to be vaccinated, or at least there'll be enough vaccine if they want to be in May.
The end of May.
So
yeah.
you would think that by mid-July, people are ready. They're going to feel comfortable. And you're not saying you have to come to Festival Lakes, but you're saying, hey,
You do
we're
not have to.
open. We're
I'm
open for
gonna-
business.
I'm definitely
I am excited.
having it. And I don't know what type of, like, if we're going to have to wear masks. I don't know what the world's going to look like in, July 14th through 18th. But I'm just here to tell you that it's not, are you having? It is, yes, we are. And we're getting ready. We're, like, finalizing our contracts with all of our acts. Our lineup secured. It was secured months ago.
Right. We're waiting for permission to announce. So we're hoping, we think early April at the latest.
We could have announced one band today. And I didn't want to start off, and I'm not going to mention.
We're gonna be ready.
I want to make, because the band I want to announce is the one you know.
We're
It's the
getting
one
there.
that we've been talking about for 2 years, and I want to come out hard.
I
and
promise you, we're
announce.
working on it.
That's the one you announce first. You don't announce like.
Well, I mean, they're all good bands.
I know
it's a good
that.
lineup.
I know that, and every band that we have that is going to apply to a particular niche in the region and across America. Like, this is the type, if you're sitting in California or New York or Texas or wherever you're listening to this podcast from,
Make plans.
you could come here. It's you could be within 100 feet of the concert stage for free, or you could pay a little bit extra and get right up on the stage.
Well, I mean, think about that, right, Mayor? Like Lollapalooza and all these other fests around the country, you have to pay big money to go. So if you can get to Hammond, Indiana,
Lollapalooza is
you
a couple
can,
$100.
yeah, you can actually just get here, and the shows are free.
You
You
have to
walk
pay
in.
$25 to park.
You could walk in. You
Right.
could get a ride. You could
You
Uber.
could Uber. You could take a bike.
That's
But
right.
like the drawback,
Hotels are closed.
I've seen quite a few fests just like you. One of the drawbacks to not having your car there, because I see people go cheap. They're like, I'm going to screw Hammond.
I'm walking.
I'm walking from like South Chicago, and I'm going to walk 3 miles and I'm going to save $25 and I'm just going to drink my profits,
Sure.
right? And then they get there, and then like we had Ludacris. It was one of our bigger festival shows.
Yeah,
okay,
it's awesome.
We had, I don't know, I always say 15,000, but it was
10,000 easy.
Packed.
Back in the pre-COVID days.
It was awesome. The concert was high energy, and then towards the end it starts getting muggy, and then the wind starts to pick up, and then
the mayor's got his weather app out,
and then we're like, oh my god, this freaking monster summer storm is coming right at us.
We always have storms during that week too, I swear.
once in a while.
Well, this was the day of Brett's wedding.
I
Remember that one?
yeah.
You were at the wedding. I was bouncing between both of them.
Dead pieced out from the wedding reception to go see Ludacris.
It was time, though.
No, I had but pieced out to go do my job. I did both of them. I married Brett and Kelly, by the way. So
Yes.
yeah, and then I pieced out. But anyway, this monster storm's coming in, and it was one of the worst storms I've seen at the fest. I've seen quite a few doozies. This was a doozy, and everybody that didn't have their car immediately available.
You mean that guy who walked from South Chicago?
Not guy. It was like something you see in Europe during World War II. It was like refugees walking, like
In
just
the rain.
walking, just completely drenched, and they're holding their kid's hand, walking down the street. It was. I remember going because I went back to the wedding again. I was back and forth like 4 times, so I'm going back to the wedding, and I stopped at a gas station in Highland to fill up, and I saw like a whole bunch of wet people there, and I was like, festival. They're like, yeah, we got caught without our car, and they were like 20 people just drenched to the bone.
So
still.
the lesson,
I would pay the $25, like
have
because
your
like
car
honestly, you could write
available.
out storms. Like okay,
well, not only, right? We give warnings, right?
right,
Go to your car,
and then come back.
Yeah.
Right. You could write out the storm, and we don't charge you entry. So like, go there, wait out the storm in your car, and then come back in and watch the show because the show usually always happens.
Get a couple beers on the way, drink them in the car.
We've
come back.
only had a couple shows that were completely washed out. A couple.
MC Hammer's at the end.
No, but that
that didn't
no,
go
he
washed
had
out,
the
right?
concert. I'm
Yeah, I
talking
know.
about where the concert didn't
I'm
even
trying to
happen.
think.
OJ's. And I almost talked him into doing it too. By the way.
And then Charlie Daniels was not. He played most of his
He played,
show.
yeah, but it was
you're right.
bad.
Yeah.
But like the OJs, I'll never forget this. This is a funny story. So I don't know these guys, but I do know that they're famous Motown famous Motown band. And the OJs were sitting there, and it was a bad night. Like literally, we couldn't get a break. It
Sideways.
was constant lightning, constant thunder, rain. But they had this crowd that would not go away. Like let's say 3,000 people sat there through all of it. They had their ponchos on, and they were just digging in, right? So I go back in, and it seemed like for about 20 minutes, it seemed like there was a break, and I'm looking at my phone, and I think I'm a professional weatherman, and I'm like, OJ's, if you guys go on the stage now, you could give us like 3 songs. And they're like, we can't do a whole concert, man. I'm like, fine. I go, dude, there's like 3,000 people
That's
out
right.
there. Just go out there and do a Backstabber. Go out there and do a couple of your big ones,
I love
right?
it.
And then they're like, okay, Mayor. They're like, you think it's going to be clear? I'm like, look, I'm showing them my phone. I'm like, it's totally clear. You guys
Weather
can do
nerd.
this. And they're like, okay. So they start getting up, and they're putting their stuff on. And as soon as they open the door to go out, it's like, like the hugest
And those guys
lightning
wore those
bolt.
really cool like Motown
Yeah,
suits.
and they like turned around and they went back in. We lost the whole show. That was the only. I think honestly, after all this time, I think it's the only show that didn't play.
Some
a
of the
song.
more memorable in the rain shows, Boston.
Yeah, great.
In the Rain was
Great.
awesome, and then Limp Bizkit.
That was my
Bizkit
favorite.
was so
They
good.
were. Though you want to talk about Limp Bizkit fans? Crazy. They were not leaving.
Limp Bizkit. It was raining so hard, it blew out their amplifier. It blew out. They lost
Yep.
like tons of equipment because it was pouring rain the whole time.
They played,
They were
and their
awesome.
fans were not going anywhere.
They made a fan out of me that night.
It was awesome.
That was one of my favorite concerts.
Fred
And-
Durst.
yeah, man,
He was really good.
they were amazing.
So the exciting thing is the Festival of the Lakes is coming back.
100%.
That
I'm
is
not
exciting.
like it would have to be a calamity if we're going to back off on this. I'm telling you, where all systems go on Festival of the Lakes. I think this is going to be Hammond's first festival post-COVID. So, and I'm like, I already told my special events crew, we're going 100%. So like, no backing off unless you hear otherwise, and which means we're spending money on bands and we're going forward smartly.
Yeah, in fact, I know that some deposits were even paid recently, so we're moving.
Yep.
So that's good news. Great news, man.
So Festival of the Lakes, and tune in over the next couple of weeks, and we'll be slowly releasing our acts. We have the whole lineup secured, and I want to start with the big one. And
We're working on it. I promise you.
Yeah.
And hopefully you'll have a Tuesday announcement. That'd be really cool too. So if
Yeah.
you can extend it, it's going to be good. Well, that is one great announcement to make here
Boom.
on the show.
Yes, sir.
There
Yeah.
it is.
hey, good news we got the other day about the American Rescue Plan.
That's an understatement, right?
The city of Hammond, under this, the Republicans, under Trump, when he was president, the Senate would block the aid to local cities and
States and
locals,
locals, yeah.
right? And then obviously when Biden takes over and then the Democrats get control of the Senate and they maintain control of the House of Representatives, they push through the aid to states and cities. And it was, and I heard this, and then I was like skeptical how much we're ultimately going to get. Well, we got a memo the other day from Congressman Mervan's office about the breakdown across Northwest Indiana and who gets how much. And the city of Hammond, Civil City itself, gets like $45 million. $53 million.
$53 million.
That's
It's
like unbelievable.
Talk about a shot in the arm.
Not even a shot in the arm. It's like unbelievable. It's like a windfall.
Yeah.
And the schools of City of Hammond get 45. That's the number, right?
That's right. Yeah.
School City of Hammond gets 45 million. The city of Gary gets like
83.
$83 million. The schools in Gary get like
90.
Wow.
Yeah.
Dude.
I mean,
Incredible.
I mean, I think, it is incredible, John, but, I think it goes to show you that, I mean, this is going to be money, I know, just because I know your administration, that it's going to be spent well. Like, it's good. I was reading some of the things you can spend it on, and a couple of the things are unbelievable. Like, I mean, not unbelievable, but really, really good. Like, it has to do with doing it on infrastructure, using it for infrastructure, which is easy. Necessary investments in water, sewer, and broadband infrastructure. You can transfer to a special purpose unit of government. You can use it for a private nonprofit involved in transportation of passengers. And that tells me things like the South Shore downtown station could get paid for instead of using TIF money. You can use it on huge things. I mean, you just talked about bridges, Mayor, that you're working on to help relieve traffic in different parts of town. All kinds of things.
Yeah, you're pissing people off by mentioning that.
Why?
I mentioned it yesterday because there's opposition from a couple residents at Hessville.
Oh,
about
I was talking
a bridge,
about the bridge
that's
over Calumet.
Well,
bridge.
the bridge in Hessville that's going to be badly needed to get over train tracks that are perennially blocked by train companies that don't care.
Just ask John's dad.
Right. And then,
Right?
There's an organized effort in Hessville right now to push back. It's like an environmental concern that you're taking away trees and dunes and swales and like you hate the environment. And it's like, dude, first off, like the major problem in Hessville happens to be trains. It is the major problem in Hessville, and people are moving out because of the trains. And this is a proposal that gets us over the top of a train, no matter how long it's blocked. So the bottom line is, we got to do this. We have to do this. And like, by the way, you live in a city. We live in a Chicagoland metro area. We live in an urban city. Like this isn't St. John, and St. John's part of the Chicagoland area also. But if you want to, if you want trees and land, you should probably go a little further south because you live in a landlocked city.
Well, the good thing about Hammond is I think it does have great natural areas. I mean, between the lakes that we have up north and Gibson Woods and all kinds of other areas, there's all kinds of nature. You just got to go find it, and parks and all kinds of things.
We doing all right over there?
I'm doing great.
No,
We're
like what's
doing
going on
great.
with
Excellent.
How's Steve, our
guest?
business manager, going?
Everything is okay.
So
over here.
we're waiting for Christina to connect.
Not
we're
everybody is
waiting.
wise in
So,
the ways of Skype.
hey, you
so
know,
we're
we talked about executive power last meeting, and I saw an article in the Times today about the pushback on executive power that Governor Holcomb's having with his own party. And you've talked about this before because you talked about they're trying to basically say, you can't do the executive orders you did with COVID. I mean, you've said that's ridiculous, right?
Right.
I mean,
Yeah, it's stupid. Like they're trying to take all the power away from the governor, so the General Assembly is in charge of everything.
think about it. It's infighting within their own party.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm totally distracted. I'm trying to figure out what's going on with.
Well,
our
we're going to
guest
take
here.
a commercial break.
Yeah, just.
Well, why don't we
just
go ahead
do your
and
thing.
we'll
Read the
finish
rest
up.
of our sponsors.
Yeah, and then John, why don't we do this while we're waiting for Christina to connect up? Why don't you get the voicemail ready with Michigan City Mayor, and we will do our commercial break right now, and we'll come back and we'll start talking about that. And I'm sure Christina will be connected by the time we get done. So,
all right, Beam Longest and Neff. Beam Longest and Neff is an award-winning consulting firm with experience in all facets of infrastructure projects. Founded in 1945, BLN has provided decades of expertise as a consulting firm. Guided by third-generation leadership, the core group of BLN partners and associates strive to remain leaders within the consulting community. Our history and experience has helped us define a clear vision to work toward total client satisfaction. For more information, call us at 1-800-382-5206.
Try Electronics. Try Electronics wants to be your complete communications provider. Try Electronics has been a leader in the industry for more than 55 years and can provide your business with end-to-end communication solutions. For more information, call Try Electronics today at 1-800-722-6793. That's 1-800-722-6793. Or at their website, try-electronics.com. And tell them that Lockpod sent you.
Thank you to Try for being a new sponsor. It's always exciting.
I'll do misprint.
All right. Oh, here we go.
I like doing misprint.
Here it is.
With both misprint printing, with both Munster and Hammond locations, Rick Baltensberger and his team are there for absolutely all of your printing needs. He's responsive, he's fast, and yes, he is good.
Wow.
Banners and signs of all sizes, from wrapping cars to business cards. No job is too big or too small. Call Rick or Teresa at 219-836-2517.
Thank you to Rick. I saw him the other day. He was like, how did the Locomotive like that card?
I loved it.
Yeah.
How come you guys
4
took it,
feet.
by the way? I had it in a
It's
shot.
for your birthday.
I had it in a shot, though.
Well, we'll bring it back.
Yeah, I want it back. I want it in the shot so that when people see me.
Are you focused again? I mean, I was talking to you about
No,
it
I
earlier,
am.
and you're like,
I heard.
yeah.
Do you want me to
yeah.
bring your card over while we get her camera
No,
working?
that's all right. Why don't we go
No.
ahead and bring on our guest, Christina Hale.
Not his birthday anymore.
Let's try it. We got no video, Christina, but are you on and hearing us?
I know
okay?
video.
Hi,
What do
Christina.
I need to do? Hey.
How you
Wow,
doing?
there she is, the voice of Christina Hale.
I like seeing video of Christina, but most of our listeners are listening, so it's not imperative that we have video. But how you doing, Christina?
I'm doing all right. How do I turn on the video, you guys?
Hit the camera.
You're asking the wrong
If
guy.
there's
Camera
a
icon.
camera button, possibly.
There's no camera button.
That's all right.
We're
Let's
just
do
happy
this
you're here.
audio. Let's jump right in.
Well,
all
yeah,
right.
let's do it. Hey, Christina, do you mind if we jump into a topic like right off the bat? Are you comfortable talking about the whole situation with the Michigan City mayor?
Sure.
Do you mind? Because
My town, yeah. I mean,
yeah, that's your home. As you know, we're going to get into more of your background. But Christina grew up and went to Marquette High School, if I remember correctly. Christina, did you go to Marquette?
Hello.
Hello.
Oh, she's
Technical difficulties. Who does this fall on?
Did we lose Christina?
Well, why don't we roll into the
Mayor Perry.
the Mayor Perry
Yeah, and when she
voicemail?
when she
Christina,
gets
I'm
back,
sure
we'll-
Christina is very familiar with that. So why don't you roll into that, John, and then we'll start talking about this.
So this could be the audio. It seems like they stripped it from a lot of articles. I had to search.
I agree with you, by the way. Isn't
It's-
that weird?
It's gone from everywhere.
Do you think he threatened him or something?
I don't
The
think how you
legal
can.
action?
So
For what?
No, check it out. I'm back in what John said. I was listening to the article. I was listening to the voicemail, and then a new article came out. So I clicked on the new article, and the voicemail was gone. I tried to go back to the voicemail, and it was gone. Like the Times stripped it off their website.
Yeah. So
So what? Why do you figure that happened?
I don't know.
Is somebody getting threatened? I mean, what could he threaten him with?
I have no
there's
idea.
no law in Indiana as long as one person is recording, which is weird. But I mean, as long as one person gives consent to the recording,
Right, because you
You don't need a warrant, right.
Obviously, one person's recording.
So this is from Kenosha News.
Ooh.
And we're just going to press
There you go.
play here and see if this is the
Funny,
audio.
Hope this
that's
is
where I
it.
saw the article first. By the way.
Oh, really?
Yeah, let's go.
Okay. Let's see. It's
Hi, Pastor Lane. This is Mayor Perry. It's
this is it. Okay.
Friday night. I think it's the 5th, about 5:20 p.m. I got a message that ministers would like a brief meeting to discuss the letter. I'm not available to do that, but I will tell you the letter was not meant as anything more than a statement of my position that I'm not going to borrow money from the people who run the government, because the chief, Dion Campbell, who's doing a great job, I support him 100%, had a list of about $75,000 worth of items on the backside of the letter he wrote that he wanted paid for, and 3 great big ones that were about $27,500 were budget items that normally are in the budget. And that's the one that bothered me, because if the police department doesn't have enough money to do what they need to do, and they're items that are normally covered in the budget, then I got to do a better job on the budget so that this doesn't happen. So that's basically the gist of it. But if you want to call and have a conversation with you and me, yeah, that's just fine. Other than that, you got this number now, 219-873-4260. If you would convey our conversation my message, to the other ministers, and I'll talk to you one of these days. Give me a call or when I bump into you. Thank you, and have a good weekend.
Here we go.
Bye. They want a fucking audience. And, these black guys, they all want a fucking audience.
Whoa.
Ooh. Yikes.
John?
That's actually the first time I heard it.
Yeah, me too. I read it, but I think, so obviously for those that don't know, Mayor of Michigan City right, about 40,000 people just to the east of, Gary by about 30 minutes. Very diverse city, by the way. I would argue to say that Michigan City probably has the same type of diversity that Hammond does, right, Tom?
Michigan City and Hammond are very similar cities.
And
demographically.
For him to say that.
Is that Christina?
It is.
Oh, hey, what's up?
It is.
How'd we get you in?
Well,
no, that's not true.
hold on a second. I'm bringing her in here.
All right,
okay, she should be on now, guys.
Hi, Christina.
Hey.
Good.
Thank
Hey.
I can
goodness.
hear you. All right.
Thanks
Sorry.
for
Let's
having
not lose you again, Christina.
No, I'm sorry about all the trouble.
That's okay. Did you end up hearing the voicemail?
Hearing the voicemail.
From
No.
the mayor of Michigan City.
Oh, the mayor's voicemail. I
Yeah.
did. Yeah, I sure did. I don't. It's one of those moments. I remember back in high school. I was with some girlfriends, and we were all calling like the boys we had crushes on just to listen to their answering machines. And by accident, one of us, happened to be me, hung up the phone. Oh, we thought it was hung up, but it wasn't. And it was back in the day when everybody had a landline. And, we were just talking among girls, right? Saying some things that probably we wouldn't want the objects of our affections to hear.
So you're saying you've been here.
Oh, and then what happens, you remember when you have a landline and it used to be you'd leave it off the hook and all of a sudden it would start going like, and you knew. Like we just wanted to put on our ninja suits and break into somebody's house and get a little cassette tape out of their recording machines. But so I think now that we are all pretty facile with technology, when we know what's happening, when you telegraph your private thoughts like that and such dark and really it's just evidence of broken community, broken character, and broken intention on a call like that. I think it just shines a light and brings, I hope, an opportunity for the right kind of public conversation to acknowledge that this is a serious problem.
Yeah, I agree. It's like, I'm a white guy, so I don't know how African Americans feel about when they see, Caucasians, but like, I imagine it confirms a lot of African Americans' worst fears when they see an older gentleman like, Mayor Perry, that's the mayor of their city, and they're like, he doesn't get, my struggle, he doesn't get our struggle.
Right.
And then like he leaves a really nice voicemail message to a pastor saying, sorry, I'm not going to meet with you. And then when he thinks the phone is hung up, he totally changes tone and then starts talking about them and what they want. It's like, come on.
I'll tell you
man.
the truth. I think like when the pastor wants to meet with you, he's like, I'm not doing that. I mean, like, what?
I agree.
When
the pastors call me,
always meet with the pastors.
Yeah,
I always. meet with the
well, you know
pastors.
how strong the how strong the pastoral alliance is in Hammond.
It's really respected. It's important,
and you respect them.
It's not the week. It's the right thing to do.
Yeah,
a
absolutely.
pastor in your community that you're the elected executive of wants to meet with you over a crisis. You meet,
and it is a crisis. You're right. I mean, the pastor wanted to meet with the mayor because they felt like the mayor was being disrespectful to the African American police chief, which is why the Pastoral Alliance wanted to meet with the mayor, because they feel like the African American chief is getting treated with disrespect.
Let's get
and
the
then
conversation going.
He hangs up the phone and treats them with disrespect. It's like confirming everything they
After
feared.
saying he wouldn't meet with them.
And it confirms everything they feared.
And what's that saying? Praise in public. Give someone a remand in private.
Right.
I think that's what was happening there. And I think the pastor was giving them such a great opportunity behind closed doors, reaching that hand to, that handshake that over the phone to say, hey, let's talk about this and work on this together, and to be shut down in such a really an awful way is I mean, I hope it gives my hometown that opportunity for some healing. And, when I think of Deion Campbell, I don't even think of him as chief of police first. I think of him as basketball hero and just,
Oh, you know Dion.
he and his family. Well, I don't know him personally. I just
Right.
remember when he was such a basketball hero in our hometown
Mm-hmm.
and was a leader and, a great team player. And he comes from a family that's done a lot for our community, and giving him the benefit of the doubt, I think was just the right thing to do. And then when that didn't happen, to make things even worse is
Right. Well, let me
real.
ask you this, Christina. Mayor Tom said he thinks that he's got Mayor Perry beat now for best region
Yeah, I think
mayor.
I got him covered. Yeah.
I'd say so.
Yeah. It's gonna be close, but I think I got him covered now. So, but honestly, in reality, I don't see any way forward for Mayor Perry. I don't see any path forward where he could credibly run the city of Michigan City. I just don't see a path. I think if he really cared about the city of Michigan City, he would do the right thing and resign today. Like, Mayor Perry has no business being the mayor after what happened. He damaged. I mean, what's the percentage population of Michigan City? It's African American. Do you know, Christina? 35%? 30?
So yeah, it's significant.
Right.
It's significant.
So you're writing off 35% of the population right off the bat that doesn't trust you.
I thought it was interesting. And Mayor Perry's Republican, by the way, but I thought it was interesting. Mayor Muir, the person he beat, said, kind of almost like I knew something like this was going to happen.
By the way, Mayor Muir doesn't take that, but
No.
Mayor Muir's wife is African American.
Yeah,
So
but I mean, he was just kind of, I know this guy's true colors. Almost kind of
well,
said something
I'm
like
sure
that.
Mayor Muir knows Mayor Perry better than we do.
For sure.
They ran against each other.
Yep.
But yeah, Christina,
I think everyone should sit down and have a really healthy, honest conversation about what actually has happened, and glossing it over. Oh, I didn't really mean that. Whatever that is. I mean, honest apology, honest conversation, and the mayor must win back the public trust. And I think you're right, Mayor Tom. That's going to be really, really difficult. It'll take a very special person to be able to do that, and all their effort and intention.
Yeah, Christina, we've known you a long time. I want Tom to kind of give a background, because for those of our listeners and watchers that don't know you, I think, we've been lucky enough to know you and know what a leader you are in Indiana. But I know Tom has, great experience with you regarding your past, and I want to make sure that we let everybody know how important and exciting it is we have you on.
Kevin and I pre-show every show, and I didn't even have to pre-show last night. I know you so well, and I know your story. In fact, I don't remember. First off, Christina, your parents still live in Michigan City, right?
Oh yeah.
And your husband Chris, his parents still live in Michigan City. Is that true? Or
His mom does. Yeah. We lost his dad some years ago, but
sorry.
yeah, his mom, his sisters. Yeah, we're a Michigan City family for sure.
And you moved to Indianapolis. I know your husband went to law school, and you guys relocated basically after law school, right?
Actually, it was before.
Was it?
Yeah, I had been a single mom, and I was a Rotary ambassadorial scholar, and my son Owen and I moved to Wales. And actually, it was Rotary District 6540 up there in Northwest Indiana that sent me.
Wow.
And then when I came back, Chris and I had been seeing each other, and he had a job in Indianapolis, and we just settled here and built our careers here, really.
So you and your son Owen, who was obviously a minor, he was an infant at the time, right? And you guys moved.
He was a little guy. I went to Purdue North Central back before.
Yeah, you and I was at Purdue Cal when you were at Purdue North Central.
Yeah, and I wrote for the LaPorte Herald Argus at the time, and I worked I was a waitress in so many restaurants, putting myself through school, and just hustling. Owen was one of the first students at Imagination Station,
absolutely,
the Child Care Consortium and preschool in Michigan City. It started off at the Sinai Temple there when Owen was one of those nascent little hopeful students. And so we went off to the United Kingdom and came back, and
Wow.
I went to work in state government for the Frank O'Bannon and Joe Kernan administration in community and economic development, and in K-12 education. And learned just so much about how those components really triangulate to lift communities up. And, I've been working hard on those kinds of issues ever since.
I remember when Kevin and I met you, we were talking about it yesterday. I don't know if you remember this. I bet you don't, actually, because it was a random event where we met you, and I was told, hey, yeah, we just recruited ultimately I became friends with both of you, Christina Hale, we recruited her to run. I forgot the person you ran against. And then they also recruited Carly Macer, current state rep still. Or no, she's not any longer, but they recruited both of you, and I met you guys at the same time. Do you remember where that was? It wasn't like a major impact on your life, obviously.
It was on ours.
I remember the second time we met, you're like, yeah, we met before. And I was like, I don't think so.
And I was salty about it probably because it was...
I remember that.
It obviously had no impact on you at all. So
Unlike us, because we both knew it. But it was Linda Lawson introduced us to you at North Central High School.
Yep. In your district. What would become your district?
Yeah, that's right. I do remember that. It was, yeah.
It's much cooler to meet Christina Hale than it is Tom McDermott.
Obviously.
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, we both met. Well, we met with the president, former president at that time, President Clinton.
That was such a great event because President Clinton was at North Central. It was when Hillary was running. Yeah. It must have been in 08.
Yeah.
Or, yeah, right.
Yeah,
or right around
the primary,
there. Yeah.
Right.
And,
which is why we were down there, right?
And
no,
one
it
of
12.
It was 12. You're right, Christina. It was 12.
It was 12,
yeah,
right.
Because Senator Bai was there.
And she was stumping for Barack Obama's reelect.
Yep.
So the cool thing about that event was President Clinton referenced Mayor Tom in his speech at North Central. I thought that was like,
cool,
whoa.
too. That's why I remember
really
it so
cool.
well.
See, that's why it's a good memory for us.
Yeah, that's right.
I've never met either of the Clintons. So unlike Tom, who does shots with Hills.
Yeah, somebody.
His girl Hillary.
Shot around the world.
It winds up in People magazine, I think.
Yeah, a lot of the Daily Show. I was famous once. Not anymore. Now I'm a podcaster.
I do want to say thank you to you both because I am so grateful to you for all of your help during my campaign for Lieutenant Governor in 2016. You helped John Gregg. You really brought it in Northwest Indiana for us, and you both played such a significant role. And
thank you.
And I know I can speak for John Gregg on this and just tell you it made a tremendous difference, and we're deeply, deeply grateful to you.
You're
very nice of you,
Christina. I remember actually knocking on doors in Christina's district one time. I was bouncing around helping state reps, and I was knocking on doors in '87 one hot summer day when you were. I remember the time I was walking with your crew and your opponent, I don't remember the guy's name. He was like a mortgage guy. Somebody was like, that's his house right there. And I'm like, we got to knock on the door.
You're like, what?
And they're like, we're not knocking on his door.
Welcome to Lake County politics.
I was like, Tom, do not go to that door. I'm going. What do you mean? I was like, please.
I went there. His wife answered.
You were nice to her.
I was nice. Vote. I wasn't being ignorant. When you play that game, you act like you don't know it's their house.
That's right.
But you know it's their house.
Of course.
Right.
Well, I remember you giving a speech at Christina's house on one of her fundraisers. And that was just such a crazy race, wasn't it? Because you started off, and Pence was going to lose. Pence was the luckiest guy that in the world that year. He was going to lose to you and John Gregg, I think, Christina. And next thing you know, he's running for vice president. They put Holcomb in the race, and away you go, right?
Yeah, that was a wild ride. There were a lot of lucky people in politics that year. I wasn't one of them, but it was. I think a lot of things happened that we never expected.
Christina, when you and John first ran, it was Pence and Ellspermann, right? The team that you were running against, right?
No, it was Pence and Holcomb.
Oh, Ellspermann was already gone by then?
Signed to be the president of Ivy Tech.
Right.
So my opponent was Eric Holcomb, the current governor.
Right.
But when Mike Pence, got promoted, so did Eric. So really, many people have observed if Sue Ellspermann hadn't left, we very well could have had our first woman governor in Indiana already.
Which actually goes back to something I say about the Hoosier Republicans anyway and right now they have Suzanne Crouch that's sitting at number 2. You watch Christina. In a couple of years, they're going to ace her out. They'll give her a job someplace else, and they'll run some white male for that spot. They have a tendency to take women lieutenant governors and get rid of them right before they have a chance to run for governor.
Well, after that's a good point, Tom. And after 2016, I got pretty frustrated with our party. I look at the Republicans and I had to really admire them because they had so many women in statewide elected offices. And I wrote an op-ed that actually ran in the Northwest Indiana Times and statewide that was talking about Democrats being late to the party in Indiana. You know, there was a Lugar series, ironically named after a male, but yes, a Lugar series of leadership for Republican women to train them up, inspire them, give them the tools they need to serve behind the scenes, but to run for elected office. And I said, we're 27 years late to that party because we had nothing like that. So I helped to found Hoosier Women Forward. And I know your former comptroller has been one of our shining stars in that program.
Heather, right? Heather Garay,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, exactly. And so many other amazing women that we're doing a phenomenal job of supporting now and building our bench and making it a more inclusive bench.
Did you take crap from the party when you came out? Because I just got done pissing the party off just a couple days ago, funny enough. So, like, I wonder if you took crap like I took crap from the party when you wrote that op-ed.
I don't know. I mean, if they did, it was behind my back. I just kind of kept charging forward.
With Tom, they do it right to him, you know.
Yeah.
It's more fun that way.
Austin and Leanne Groth Holka, the former 5th Congressional District Chair, and Andorra, Betty Cockrum, Miss Cordelia, Lewis
Right,
Burks.
yes.
So many people stepped up to help with that. Former State Senator Vi Simpson. You know, I shouldn't name names because all of a sudden you start forgetting some.
Right.
But
Linda Lawson.
so many. Linda Lawson. Like
Right.
a lot of people. Just Kathy Davis, our
Yeah.
former lieutenant governor.
Yeah. But obviously a lot of women mentors that helped elevate where you ended up eventually. And you're doing the same thing for a whole generation of young ladies that are going to be running in the future, Christina, because they're going to be talking about Christina Hale in 2030 and 2035 and 2040 when they're running. And they're going to be talking about how inspired they were from your run for lieutenant governor. And you did an amazing job. And, you know, you mentioned luck. And I could tell you that luck is a huge part of politics. No doubt about it. And I could tell you from recent experience in my recent race is you have to have a great candidate. You have to be adequately financed. You have to have a good team to help the candidate, and you got to get lucky.
Got to get a little luck.
And, you know, in my last race for Congress, I had a great team. I was well financed. We had a crappy candidate and no luck. So the bottom line is,
Not
and
true.
Christina in her last race, obviously well financed.
Yeah.
She had an amazing team. Christina is an amazing candidate and couldn't catch a damn
Tough
break.
district.
Couldn't catch a damn break
Yeah.
with Trump, and you know, and that's a huge part.
Timing is such a big piece of it. You know, I just mentioned former Lieutenant Governor Sue Ellspermann and her timing. And then look at our governor, Eric Holcomb. You know, nobody really thought he was in the pipeline.
Not
to
even
be
on the
our
radar.
president. And, you know, so it's interesting. Or even Mike Pence's brother, who became an assisting U.S. congressman in Indiana. Nobody saw that coming because the stars hadn't yet aligned.
You know,
But-
when you mentioned Holcomb, when Holcomb was running for U.S. Senate before he was lieutenant governor, he was in like 3rd or 4th place in that primary.
That's right.
He wasn't even on the radar. And then he got lucky enough to get chosen as Pence's lieutenant governor, and then things progressed. I mean, because when Christina and John Gregg were running against Pence and Holcomb, you guys were going to mop the floor with them. And
Without a doubt.
everybody in Indiana knew it. Pence was a dead man.
He was. All those social issues, all those
He
positions
was dead.
took,
He was
done.
never going to win. And Republicans were sick of him. Democrats were sick of him. We had the Fire Mike Pence signs all across Indiana.
Yep.
And then he got elevated to the ticket.
It's crazy.
And then everything changed. And like going back to luck. The luck definitely wasn't with John Gregg and Christina Hale.
Yeah, I mean, I'll tell you, John Gregg and I Donald Trump won the state by about 540,000 votes in 2016. And John Gregg and I got about 380,000 of that group to split their ticket for us.
Wow.
So even if President Trump had won by, you know, fewer than 20 points, we could have slid through if Hillary lost by 11, 12, 13, but we just couldn't make up the difference of the people who voted for president only and scratched or just voted straight ticket.
That's right. And that's what happens in a presidential year. A lot of people, they walk in, they vote for president, they walk out.
Yep.
And that happens.
This last experience running for Congress, Christina, I mean, you were in a crowded primary and you walked out of the crowded primary as the victor, and then you were running against Victoria Sparks, you know, and the thing about your last race, and the one thing I could tell you as Christina's friend is She's one of the bravest people I've ever met.
Without a doubt.
In politics. Like, Christina, and I've said this to you a number of times, and I'm going to say it publicly. You inspire me as far as like your willingness to like just take risk, and that is because like in politics, people that don't take risks never go anywhere. And that's one thing I have to say about Christina is she's willing to throw it all in and
put
go
her.
for
She
it.
puts herself out there,
Dude. Like
That's
I
what's-
know her. Like Kevin, when she ran for LG, she gave up her seat in the House. And then lost, and she really had nothing to fall back on. And she knew it was a risk running. And then in 2020, she did a similar thing. She got recruited to run.
You guys, I agreed to come on this show, but if you agree to not talk about me. So,
we can't help it.
Does Shania Twain say, I shaved my legs for this? I mean, come on.
All right. Well, let me.
You're an inspiration, Christina. You're an inspiration.
Let me get to an issue then, because one of the things I think that I was always impressed about is you brought women's issues to the forefront as a state rep, and a lot of times you also were a huge proponent for making sure that things that would help prevent violence against women were seen and were at the forefront. And I saw just this week that Congress is trying to reauthorize the Violence Against Women Act. So I was hoping if you could talk about, because I know that's a big issue for you, and even though this is what you're about, because I know it's a big issue for you, it's an issue. So we're not talking about you. We're going to let you talk about an issue.
Oh, well, thank you. I mean, there is just so much violence within people's households. And what I'd like to underscore, too, this particular year has been brutal as families have been bottled up, because of the pandemic in a household. And my greatest worry throughout this whole shared experience we've lived through are for those kids and those vulnerable people in homes that aren't very nice and that can be pretty violent, scary places. And we've just had problems of addiction and substance abuse exacerbated, and it's like a ticking time bomb. And it's going to take a while, I think, for our country to get over these kinds of traumas, and especially for the little kids who haven't had that escape at school, either to get that hot lunch they don't always get, or to get away from mom's violent boyfriend for a little while, or to have that lifeline to someone who can help them. After we all kind of resume some normalcy, I believe we're going to need to shore up some of the supports that we have in place for them, and also for our elderly who have been, very isolated. There have been a number of mills that have popped up where people are just trying to collect the elderly and infirm who can't take care of themselves and collect their Social Security checks, treat them incredibly poorly, and, just enough to keep them alive. And there's just going to be a lot of work to do on those issues of protecting people from violence, particularly in the home after the pandemic clears.
Hey,
I'm curious with you guys, though. I mean, it's been a heavy year, and we're talking about some heavy issues, but what are you two looking forward to after all of this? Are we going to get another fest?
it's funny. Right before you came on, we made an announcement that 100% we're having the Festival of the Lakes in 2021.
Oh, wow.
And that's, by the way, it's right by Christina.
You're invited.
No, it's her birthday.
I want to, let me throw some T-shirts out, please.
Yeah, your birthday is, I think, after the fest this year. Because your birthday is always right around.
Yeah, my birthday is always in the fest, because I know during that LG run, you let me up on the stage.
Yeah, that's right. You and your husband came, and I forgot the act that was playing. It might have been Boston.
My birthday. That was fun.
Yeah, but you know what? I don't know. I got both shots already, which is wonderful. And according to my daughter, who's in nursing school, I have like 4 weeks before I'm fully vaccinated. But
look out!
I'm traveling.
You probably have about 2 weeks or so.
I'm traveling.
When did you get your first one again? During a snowstorm? So
a while ago.
Yeah, a while. So you should be okay soon.
Is this Lindsay's voice I'm hearing?
Yeah,
it is. Hello.
Okay, you're a married woman.
I am.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
That's awesome. And I'll tell you what I'm looking forward to. I want to see you in a show after COVID is over.
Hopefully sooner rather than later. All of our theaters in the area are struggling all over the country. It's awful.
No kidding.
When they open up, I want to come see you.
I'll let you know. You'll be the first person I contact.
How about you, Christina? Are you going to travel pretty soon, or I know you're a huge traveler.
So, yeah, I hope so, but I'm not eligible for the vaccine yet, so I'm just waiting my
Show
turn.
off. Showing how young you
I
are.
mean, you're like pretty close to my age, so you're getting pretty close. I mean,
I'm pushing it. Well, maybe.
She's like, yeah, Tom, you're eligible. I'm not.
You're pretty damn close, Christina. I know that.
For a month, but anyway, I look forward to that. And then, I think everybody. Don't you guys think that our country's going to go a little bit crazy? People we're going to just. Everyone's so excited. I
already planned a trip. I'm going skiing. I'm going hiking, and then I'm thinking about going to Vegas. I got
wow. You're like, I'm free.
Oh yeah,
I'm out of COVID.
It's not even that far away, actually. I'm testing Lindsay's 2-week theory. But
well, it's been fun having you,
Christina. Really thank you, and sorry about the technical difficulties at the beginning.
I'm sorry. Please invite me back sometime.
It's our tech guy is just not that good. We try.
Not a good time, Tom. Do that next week.
John's blood pressure's up right now.
Do that next week. But Christina, you've been great. We appreciate you so much, and I'm looking forward to to monitoring you and following you and where you're going next. And you're an inspiration for me and a good friend. And tell Chris I said hello, and I hope your son Owen's doing well with his new career. Is he still practicing comedy?
Well, practicing, yeah. I mean, but yeah, you can watch his podcasts anytime. He's on pretty much every night of the
Give
week.
him a plug.
He's a competitor? Maybe we could have him on.
Every night.
No, I mean, he's not a competitor. Like, their format is a lot different.
They're much better. He's not competing with you guys.
She's like, don't worry, you guys suck.
Are they? Is he
out of Hollywood? But yeah, sometime maybe we could do a live broadcast from Michigan City, and you could have me back.
I would love that. And then we'll line up a different tech provider that day.
We'll have you there. I'm blaming.
John's gonna throw something at me.
It's not John's fault.
I know.
We're gonna talk about this
guys.
show.
Thank you.
Thanks, Christina.
Thanks, Christina.
Right.
Have a good day.
Bye, Lindsay.
Take care.
All right, wrap it.
No, I want to talk to John. This is funny.
Oh no. It's funny to you. It's torture for us.
Because
That's right.
John's hiding behind the computer.
John
screen,
prides
which
himself.
tells me he's
John
pissed
prides
about
himself
something.
on a perfect show.
I'm here. Let's get into it.
Go.
I'm a
He's
genius
ready to
producer.
fight.
I want to say that for the record.
You
in
are
all
a great
seriousness.
producer, John.
I'm
It
on
is.
John's side in this
It's
issue.
hard to understand that we're gonna have glitches every once in a while.
We're not going to have glitches if we prepare. That's
Agreed.
all I'll say.
I'm with John on this.
Okay.
I'm not throwing anyone under the bus.
All
but
right.
Failing to prepare is preparing to fail.
There you
Oh,
go. Boom.
I like that. That's
Is that
boom.
another Gandhi quote?
It is.
It is. Gandhi.
Mahatma
He said that right
Gandhi.
before he punched somebody.
Gandhi visits the show.
Serenity
my dear.
Now. That's the
it.
name of the show.
You sound like you really mean that, John.
Yeah,
so,
man.
hey, Christina, we got her in. She did
We
a great
did.
job.
We did.
Thank goodness.
She got a great career.
I wish we could have seen her, but it's
I
for
do
another
too.
show.
It's
We'll
okay.
see her some other time.
It was good that we got her in even audio, so twice, by the way. So
Yeah.
good job.
But yeah, so Tuesday's show coming up.
Yeah.
Not sure who our guest is, but we'll work on that.
Figure it out.
I would monitor Left of Center in the coming few shows.
Follow us on Twitter.
By the way, we announced the end of season 2 is coming in 3 more episodes.
Whoa.
Yes.
March
Look out.
23rd.
You're announcing it now.
We are announcing March 23rd will be the end of season 2.
It
So
will
look
also
out.
be our 23rd episode.
Wow.
So for those of you that have been
For
with
season
us
2.
through
Michael
the first
Jordan,
2 seasons, we
Ryan
appreciate
Sandberg.
you. You've been with us all the way through. We love you for that. Appreciate it. And but we're going to take a few shows off, and then we're going to come back after Easter. It seems like a
Refreshed.
good time to break. Refreshed. And
Springtime.
I'm going to
I
go.
should have planned this better, like around my finals week or something.
No,
so-
we wouldn't want to do that. It'd be
Easter.
too easy for you.
Easter.
That's not my final. My finals are beginning of May.
Well, we'll see you here at the
Ish.
podcast that week.
You know what we should do in season 3?
What's
What?
that?
Add, we'll premiere with that 4th camera we were talking about.
Good
We- We
idea.
won't tell people the angle,
I like
but there's
it.
going to be a 4th camera
A new
in
camera.
the studio.
It's going to
Yes.
show the ceiling only.
Ceiling, is it
or
going
it's
to be
gonna
our
show
legs?
the Locomotive's birthday card just all the time.
All the time.
It's
Yes,
always.
right? Just to remind
Just
people.
to remind people.
Yeah.
It's going to be under the table showing them their feet, and we can make fun
Foot
of their
cam.
shoes.
For those that like feet.
Oh, my God.
All right, let's call it a day, guys. It's great to see you all. I appreciate what you do, Kevin.
Thank you.
You did a solid show today.
Appreciate that.
C plus. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, I'll
No,
take
B
that.
minus. What the hell? I'm
Oh,
feeling generous.
look at you.
Lindsay McDermott featuring. I appreciate you.
What's my grade?
B minus. Right.
Careful, Tom.
Welcome
when you
into
come
my
to me.
Still a
Let's,
3.0.
let's get
Careful.
to the producer.
Careful.
Still 3.0.
Let's get to the producer.
I will-
John. I mean,
Can we grade the locomotive? Can we grade the locomotive today?
You turned me off. What's up?
I was going to give you like a solid B.
I agree with Kelly in chat who says Mayor Tom's preparing for his next apology segment. He will be saying sorry to John.
Agreed.
Yeah, I mean,
agree with that.
When, like if I'm mayor and like there's murders or there's turmoil in one of my departments, I may not be the cause of the
There's
turmoil.
a murder in your department?
No.
Does
like,
that happen frequently?
If there's murders, no murders.
When Tom gets really pissed.
Let's
when
just
there's
say
a murder,
gets close.
How about
or-
this? How about this? We had a bunch of dying birds, right?
Yeah.
And I have nothing to do with the dying birds.
No.
I have nothing to do with
We
it.
have
The birds died, right?
We have one
But
very
still,
sassy guy that
people
comments
come to me
about that.
and they blame me for the dying birds, right? And I accept responsibility because it's my job.
It's your city.
It's like if it happens under my watch, it's my responsibility, right?
Got to take care of things.
So like if we're having trouble connecting to a guest, I mean,
who's in charge of technology?
you got to blame the technology, the producer.
I
right?
want John to go upstream and say it's the business manager.
You got to blame the producer. So John, I don't know.
Sometimes
This may be my last show. I just want to thank everybody. I never missed one single show.
Until
one
now.
Neither of you could say any of that.
Well,
I didn't
COVID
miss-
got me.
Yeah. You're a micromanager.
Excuses.
You wouldn't let me in the studio. I would have come in.
I would have let you in.
D plus. Okay,
Anyways,
let's move on.
It's been fun.
D plus.
Thank you to all my
1.0.
fans.
D plus. We'll move on now, and we don't have to dwell on the D plus. But hey, it happens every once in a while. And I wasn't on my A game either.
Sometimes it's
You
a tough class.
I have to give myself an A minus today because I wasn't on my A
God.
game. Because it's like I had to leave the studio. and
You
help
literally
out.
got up and I told you to go back
That's
to the
right.
studio
So
and
that's
you
why
didn't. You just walked
because
into
normally
another office.
I'm a solid A, sometimes A plus. So like I gave myself a knock today. A
I think
minus.
this is democracy. Anyone?
This is the
B minus, C plus.
I don't want to forget
this is
this
the
before.
rantings of somebody who loves themselves so deeply.
Wait, before we go off the air, we have to say this sincerely. Kevin, you're a super lawyer.
Oh, that's right. By the way,
Congratulations, man.
Thank you.
Kevin Smith, super freaking lawyer. I knew
Super
that.
lawyer.
I think everyone's tuned out by now, but that's okay.
I knew that. I knew
you.
that.
I appreciate that.
I knew that all along.
Thank you.
Soup or
What does that mean
lawyer?
exactly?
Super lawyer.
This is exclusive to the 5%.
I'll take the soup.
I would prefer
I think
the
you get
soup
in. I
too.
think you pay for it, and they just send you an invoice.
I like a good soup myself.
Get a cape.
Soup or lawyer.
You
I'll
get
take
your
the soup.
choice. You'll take the soup instead of the lawyer.
I'll definitely
yeah.
take the soup. Over
I love
the
soup.
Thank you,
lawyer.
John.
Soup's
Soup is
my
great.
favorite food.
I love soup too, Lindsay. You got that from your dad.
I love how they're having a conversation about soup. They don't even care that
no,
you're a super lawyer.
there's no
Soup
thank
or
you.
lawyer.
He paid for it, John. I don't know what he had to do for that, but it wasn't pretty. Let me tell you. So,
Elections are expensive too.
Oh boy.
all right, guys. Thanks for watching Left of Center. We'll be back on Tuesday. We'll be just as interesting as we were today. I don't know if that's good or bad, but we'll be back. I promise. Take care, everybody. I'll see you on
Have a
Tuesday.
good weekend.
Peace out.